Hello everyone, welcome back to Lori's Boston Found, where thrifted is the new black. My name is Lori and I am a full-time reseller on the Poshmark app, and I also sell on eBay as well. I'm very excited about today's video because I have been collecting pieces to do this video for some time. Today is my fall trends video, the vintage edition. So what I've done is I've taken some of my favorite fall trends from 2020. It is September of 2020 right now. And I have been collecting vintage pieces that have been inspired by the fashion for right now. So some of the things that I'm going to share with you today that reflect some of the fall trends would be cottagecore pieces. That's everywhere right now. I have some leather outerwear to share with you, some really beautiful knits, as well as some 80s denim, some jewel tone pieces. These are all some of my favorite fall trends that I wanted to share. There are so many resources out there that have been sharing fall trends. And in fact, I recently did a fall trends podcast with my partner Daniela, and I can link that in the description if you want to hear our podcast on our fall trends. So what I always find about trends is that there are just so many that get thrown at us every season. So I tried to pick the ones that I think are the most wearable, the things that we are most likely to find when we're out thrifting, maybe even some things that are already in our closet that we can just bring new life to. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you like this style video. Let me know if you enjoy trend videos. Also hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more of my videos. I do 2 videos a week. I do what sold videos. I do lots of thrift haul videos. Sometimes I do thrift with me, and I share a lot of tips and tricks and strategies that I have found to be successful in my reselling career. So that's all for right now. Let's jump right into it. Also, be sure to stay to the end of the video if you want to see some bonus pieces. I went to an estate sale just yesterday and I picked up some beautiful vintage pieces, some hats, some purses. Not all fit into the fall trend model, but they are certainly worthy of sharing with you guys. So if you stay till the end, I will show you some of my bonus pieces and share a little story. Of course, I love story time. So thanks again, and let's get into it. So recently I picked up this vintage Central Park, New York City sweatshirt, and I have lived in this. I've had 2 or 3 people reach out to me, or maybe it was the same person reaching out on a couple platforms about purchasing this, and I'm just not ready to sell it. I have lived in it. You know, I have some black bike shorts, which are also on trend right now, and my 90s self, I'm just loving this. Oversized sweatshirt and bike shorts. I love that. So what's really special about this, and somebody pointed out to me in my last video, is that the Twin Towers are on this sweatshirt. So I love this color. The jewel tone colors are on trend this season, and just these old vintage sweatshirts are really popular as well. So this is my favorite piece of this season, so you may see me in this a little bit. So I want to start with some of the bags and accessories that I picked up that were on trend that are also vintage. These 2 pieces I got at the estate sale yesterday, and it's just this woven wool pattern. If I get up nice and close, you can see the detail on it. These things are like brand new. This is absolutely beautiful, and it has a matching hat, which is so damn cute. I have these listed as a set for $60 right now on Poshmark. Absolutely beautiful. You can see the detail in this. And the woman took such care of these pieces. They're just beautiful. This little purse I picked up in Waltham, and I think I purposely left it out of my last haul. Now my hair, I have hat hair now. I saw this and I kept walking by it, I touched it. It was really soft. I'm like, I don't know what it is about that tiny little bag, but it looks pretty special to me. And one of the trends for this fall is quilted patterns, and you know, leather is big for the fall too. So anyways, I picked it up. It's soft, buttery soft leather, and it's got this really nice long strap to wear crossbody. And I looked inside, and it's J. Hebert, New York, which I was not familiar with this, but then when I ran some of the comps on J. Hebert, it's definitely a vintage designer that people will pay up a little bit for. So I'm hoping to get somewhere between like $30 and $40 for this. I'll probably list it at $45 and see what happens. I want to check the comps one more time. I think think I could get that much. Another trend for the fall are chain straps. And I just thought that this was such a cute pattern. I loved like the woven leather right here. This is just like a resin, like a plastic chain, but I got this at the estate sale as well. This woman had beautiful taste. It is from a place called Davies in Worcester, Mass. So if there are any of my local people watching, I was not familiar with this store, but the woman who sold it to me said that this was a, this was a big store, department store back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s here. And Worcester is in central Massachusetts. So I want to see if I can get the tag up for you to see. It's Davies of Worcester. So I think I have a couple other pieces from Davies, but this purse, it's like brand new. Just so beautiful. How timeless is this? This would be adorable with just like a white blouse and jeans and a black belt. I mean, how gorgeous would that be? And the condition of this stuff just blew my mind. This I'm gonna throw in as a little bonus. Look at this crazy feather hat. I don't know if this falls into any trend this fall, but how could I leave this behind? At the estate sale, all of her purses were $2 and all of her hats were $2. So this is beautiful. I have this listed already as well, or I have a draft of it. I've been like taking pictures, listing stuff. I've been like a mad woman. This little clutch I'm obsessed with. This is my color palette. I love the rust and the grays and the blacks. It's just like a little velvet clutch. And the brand is Ella Firenze, and it's made in Italy. It reminds me of something you'd get at like one of the tourist sections in Italy. When we were in Florence, they have all these booths throughout the city that sells leather goods. It's new with tag. It's just this cute little pouch, like a cosmetic case. So nothing fancy, but made in Italy and absolutely beautiful for the fall. I love it so much. This bag I loved. It's so beautiful. It has like the kissing clasp. I got a bunch of bags from her that have the kissing clasp. And what's really nice, this is HL, and I will say who that stands for. The woman whose estate sale I shopped, she passed when she was 106 years old. So this was her niece and her daughter running this sale, and just so beautiful. This again, flawless condition. All of these bags I would like to get somewhere between $25 and $50 for. Wherever they fall, I'm not sure. I need to do a little bit more research, but that's what I'm aiming for. This is just an evening clutch. It's got that metallic. Metallics are big this fall. But I feel like, again, this is more like a timeless piece, again, with the little kissing, and then it's got the little chain if you wanted to hold on to that as you're walking. Hopefully by December 31st, we will have good reason to maybe go out on the town and celebrate the end of 2020 and the start of a new year. Lastly, for my bags, I believe this is also a Davies bag. This seemed more like 70s inspired to me, but look at that leather. I love a good leather piece. Is really some nice weight to it. It also, it definitely gets larger at the bottom. It has a zip here, a couple studs for detail. Simply beautiful. It's a great shoulder bag, just like a really nice size. There's a nice size to this. Oh, this is Davies. Okay. Gosh, her stuff was so interesting to me. So see the tag? Is that going to come into focus for you? It should say Davies on the tag. Let's see. Yeah, so I knew it said it somewhere. I'm gonna have to look up the history of this company because I don't know where in Worcester it was or anything like that, but I'll tell you, this woman had some really beautiful pieces from this shop. This was just another little clutch I had to pick up. I really liked the clasp on this. Just classic patent leather little evening bag, beautiful interior. I like the little snap that you hear when it closes. I don't know if patent leather is on trend for the fall, but this was just one of those like, how can I pass this up for $2? So all of these purses were just such a treat. I got those two hats and all those purses. I actually picked up a straw purse that's downstairs that I didn't bring up because it was very summery. But let's shift gears now and let's talk a little bit about the clothing that I have. So this is a little glimpse of what my new rack looks like. It's double layered and it's like this really pretty muted gold finish. Jay installed it for me and I love it so much. I have a table over here that's going to be going pretty soon, but we're just still working on what's going to work best for for this setup because I'm so used to being at my desk. So one of my very favorite pieces from this entire collection would be this wonderful leather trench coat that I picked up at a consignment store. Look at how incredible this is. It's showing up a little lighter, but I would say that this is from the 70s, and I will pop in some of the current trends right now, like what's listed right now. This is super long, and I will come in and show you some of the detailing on it. It's just in really great condition. The brand is created by Raffaello. Here's the brand label. I'll just show you some of the close-up details. But this is so on trend right now and would make an incredible addition to your fall 2020 wardrobe. I'm probably going to list this somewhere around $150 to $200. I need to look more extensively at comps. It's really difficult when you're dealing with comps for vintage pieces because it's sometimes hard to find what they'll go for. And I've had vintage pieces that sell immediately once I post them for full price. And then I've had vintage pieces that sit around for a very long time and end up going at a discounted price from what I thought I would get for them. So the lighting right now is crazy because the sun's coming down. Okay. I picked up this sweater. So this falls into like the jewel tone trend for the fall and the return to natural sustainable fabrics, which is not really a fall trend. This is 100% wool and the designer might surprise you. But this is the Limited. So when I was younger and I would shop at the Limited, does anybody remember Forenza? That was like the premier brand within the Limited, and I would love to pick up Forenza sweaters and usually the big cable knit oversized ones. That would actually be amazing right now. I loved all of the texture that was in this. I just picked this up yesterday when I was yard sailing. What I also love about this, and another trend, is people are wearing their cardigan sweaters just solo. So kind of a little sexy, like slouchy. They'll wear like the low V, maybe button like the top 3 and then leave the bottom open. So this would be so ideal with that. Although being 100% wool, I feel like it might be a little scratchy. It's a size medium, but when I measured across the chest, it was 26 inches and then the length was 26 inches. So I measure from armpit to armpit when I do my measurements. So this would definitely fit a size large or like very slouchy on a size medium. I love this piece. I'm sorry, I'm washed out. I'm gonna share these two pieces together. Again, for any of my local people, was Jordan Marsh a national brand or is that just a New England thing? So this is the tag right there. So these are probably from the early 80s, and even in the 80s, this was $80. That's the original price, and then it was on sale for $49.99. So how incredible. I purchased these together at Savers, and I love that they're new with tag. These just scream cottagecore. These could be worn with a really great pair of high-waisted jeans. So what's cool about this shirt right here is that it has this little, you know, this faux shirt underneath. It kind of reminds me of like the Dickies, like the fake turtlenecks. This is an 8 petite, and there's 10% flax in these. And so you can definitely feel that fabric in here. They are also made in the USA. Also another telltale sign that it may be vintage, although these obviously are very vintage, but so beautiful. This one's a little lighter weight and a little bit lighter in color as well. This one's an 8. This one is an 8 petite. However, this actually measures a little bit longer. So I always make sure I include my measurements with vintage pieces because vintage clothing was cut very differently, typically smaller than clothing is cut nowadays. So I always make sure I include my measurements with vintage pieces. I think I'm probably gonna list these around $40. And since we're talking cottagecore, I thought that this blouse was just beautiful. This is more of that like prairie vibe, that Victorian vibe that's really popular right now. Look at these sheer sleeves. How beautiful, with this little collar. I swear I owned this very shirt in cotton when I was in like the 4th grade. So how cute. This blouse is beautiful. The one thing I will note is it looks like there was like, you can't even see, but it looks like maybe like a little bit of a water stain. I'm gonna try to wash this and see if I can get that out. But this is absolutely beautiful. This would be really cute, like, you know, half tucked in with some jeans, something high-waisted. This would look great with a pair of wide-leg trousers as well. Check out the back. There are buttons all the way down the back on this. And I also love the contrasting stitching right here. It's like a little bit of like a gold color. So this is more ivory. It's showing up kind of white, but it's definitely more ivory and like cream even a little bit around the collar. This is so beautiful. Let me know what you think, if there are particular fall trends that you're really digging right now. These are some of the ones that grabbed my eye. There are so many out there right now. I want to talk a little bit about blazers. Blazers are everywhere right now. Particularly, I'm seeing a lot of plaid blazers and a lot of oversized blazers. I liked this blazer because I am obsessed with this color. Malia Honolulu. And it's a size 10. It's 100% wool. It's that same green as the limited sweater. It is a size 10. I would say it fits more like a size 8, 10. But it is wool and beautiful, but there is one little moth hole that I did note, that I will note in my listing. I already took photographs for this, but just very classic. So people are wearing their blazers with a t-shirt underneath. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. If you're like a size small or extra small, you could wear this blazer, wear it nice and slouchy and oversized. Oversized is big for the fall. I am paying attention and picking up a lot of blazers, and I'm seeing a lot of action on blazers in my closet right now. And they're so expensive. So to be able to pick up a blazer on the secondhand market for $50 or less is really a treat. We can switch gears a little bit. I did feature these in a recent haul. I picked these up at the bins. One of the big trends for the fall, 80s inspired denim, 80s and 90s inspired denim. These are the most classic pair of George Marciano Guess jeans. These are incredible. I have Anna Nicole Smith vibes all day long. She was the Guess model for years. So these are, I believe, a size 30, but I think they measure more like a size 4 or a 6. I found a pair of Ulla Johnson 80s inspired denim that I'll pop up here that are selling for $420 right now. So all of these fall styles for 2020, if you can find them secondhand or vintage, it is really going to save you a lot of money. So I do have these listed at $100 or $90, these jeans, and I'm getting ready to maybe start taking some offers on them, but they are really a sweet pair of jeans. I love these. Another trend that I believe really doesn't go out of style, but is particularly big right now, is 90s grunge. So think like the big chunky Steve Madden shoes that we all wore with the big, big black chunky heel, and Doc Martens or combat boots in general are huge right now. These Doc Martens, believe it or not, have been in my death pile for like 6 months or so, and they are in beautiful condition. They are the Outerwear originals with the 6 eyes. They're in beautiful condition, and the reason that they've been in my death pile is because they don't have a size. So I wear a size 8.5, 9, and these are just slightly loose. So I did take a measurement right here to share on my listing, and that's the best I can do when I don't have my measurements. I've also heard people recommend that you get like the insoles, like the Dr. Scholl's insoles of certain sizes, and people fit them in the boots, and if it's like a size 7 and it fits nicely in the boot, then you can assume that your boot is a size 7. But I haven't invested in that because I would have to buy a variety of sizes. So I'm estimating these are like a woman's size 9, and they are in fantastic condition, and Doc Martens are so classic. People are pairing their Doc Martens with skirts, with leggings, with denim, anything goes. Like you put a pair of combat boots on and you can throw anything on top and have a party and be right on trend for this fall. So this is a ribbed sweater. It may be a little younger than I initially thought. However, I did want to still feature this because ribbed sweaters are huge right now, huge, huge. And I didn't have anything from my collection that was ribbed, so I found this yesterday when I was out yard sailing, and I wanted to include it in today's haul. Again, hot for this fall is animal prints, faux fur and animal prints. So I actually got this, oh my gosh, this piece right here. I want to stand back so you can see the awesomeness of it. Jay and I were driving home from something one day, and it was late in the day, and I had missed all the yard sales because it was one of those days I vowed I wouldn't go out shopping. So I was home listing, and we had to run an errand. And on our way home, there was a sign that said free stuff with an arrow. And I just looked at him and he's like, all right, I'll take you. So he took the turn and we wound up getting up 2 pairs of Ugg boots in this jacket for free. It turned out there were some holes in one of the Ugg boots, the suede. I still might try to sell them, and then the other were like a men's pair of leather Ugg boots with just the Sherpa on the inside that I need to clean up. But this was also hanging, this incredible vintage faux fur jacket. Right, this is kind of big. Yes, it's very big. It has all the feels. It's really incredible. I will get the designer for you. Monterey fashion, made in the USA. Okay, it's in beautiful condition and it was free. So I was pretty excited about that. And it's nice and oversized and it's faux fur and it's super, super comfy. All right, I'm not sure how this is going to do, but I picked this up at a Salvation Army in New Jersey on my way back from Pennsylvania. So I've been planning for this video for some time. This is a size 8, 100% leather, Suzelle. Brands really don't always matter with vintage. It's much more about the style, unless of course you can get your hands on like a designer piece. I love this because it has just a little elastic on the side, but it's this really beautiful black midi length skirt, which, my goodness, I think this is so gorgeous. Those longer outerwear pieces like the leather jacket that I had in trench and long skirts, like mini skirts aren't really in this fall. So anything that you can get with like a nice longer length, I'm really excited to see how this would do. Just a really simple black leather skirt in impeccable condition, a size 8. I would say this is, I don't know, maybe this could be an 8. I would say this is more like a size 6, 8, but again, I'll be sure to include measurements in my listing, and I'm not sure where I'm gonna price this, probably somewhere between $50 and $75. Really love this. The brand is called Retro, and it has these really cool buttons, and it's just this like tapestry jacket. I'll walk back here. Very like slouchy, oversized. I can see this on a Free People ad, and some Free People charging like $249 for it. But it's really cute. It has all the beautiful fall colors. It's very breathable. I feel like you could style it in so many ways. I would probably put it, of course, with some jeans and some maybe nice chunky suede boots, or even some, like I have the Melissa Fry boots in this brown color. That would be beautiful too. This I purchased at the estate sale yesterday where I got the bags. This is just so beautiful. It's faux fur, and then it has this texture. I can't remember which runway show this was, but the entire show was shades of black and gray and knit from head to toe. It was just all about the texture because there really wasn't much variation in the color palette. That fashion show is what made me pick this up and think about this, although this I just think is so gorgeous. So look at one more time on the texture here, the faux fur. It's got like a little belt in the back, really pretty button detail. This says it's a size 10, and I am not a size 10, so I would say this actually runs large. Okay, this piece I just listed, and I picked this up somewhere along the way, maybe in Waltham. This brand is Tova Celine. And I did see some brands online with this label. I can't figure this top out. I think what I'm seeing here are little sewing machines, which I thought was really cute. Like just like anytime I can get like a fun little novelty print, I love it. But these things right here, I can't figure it out. So in one of my photos, I tied it in front and did like almost like made it look like a scarf, and then in a couple of the other photos I just let it fall off the shoulders, and then you can kind of see it in the back. I'm not quite sure how it's supposed to be styled. This is just like a really pretty like poet's beautiful little blouse. I love that it's lightweight, it's high-low, very romantic looking, very feminine, a little touch of the cottagecore vibe. Minus the pattern, because I think more in florals when I think of the cottagecore. And I'm curious to see how this does, because this is one that I did label by the brand. In some cases, when I do my listing, I will just do vintage for my brand, unless it's a brand that is something that, based on my research, I think that people are looking for. So Tova Celine was one of those that I actually listed. Like this right here, I may just put vintage for this, unless I find that that label does well. So I would just say you do your homework on the piece and decide what you think is best, what is the best way to list something. So right after saying that, This is a vintage piece where I will 100% use the brand name because I love this brand. Look at this knit skirt. I actually saw knit skirts like this on the Anthropologie site for $178. I will pop a picture up here. But the brand of this is Peruvian Connection, and I absolutely love picking up Peruvian Connection. I've never found a skirt of theirs. I've always found their sweaters and have sold their sweaters really well. And to boot, this is brand new with tag. It doesn't actually have the price tag on it. Well, I mean, it has the tag. It doesn't have the price, but there's the Peruvian Connection. And this is 70% baby alpaca, 22% wool, and 8% silk. It's so beautiful to touch, and I love the colors on there. And these are some of those jewel tones that are really big right now in the fall. So I'm excited to see how this does. I'll probably list this around $50. Two more floral prints. They really don't go together. They probably deserve their own introduction. But this is just, I'm not sure how this is going to do. I love this because it was cotton, it was floral. I've shared this in one of my previous videos. I think I picked this up at Salvation Army. I loved that this was oversized, and I think there was a brand to this too. The brand is French Navy. So there we go. I don't know if you can see it. So this actually had a little bit of a following, and I just think if this was styled properly, it would do really well. So I'm excited to see somebody pick this up. Okay, and we can end with this piece, and I talked a little bit about this brand in my last haul. This is a Cacharel. This is a French designer. This is the tag, and I'm dating this around the late 70s. This is like a cotton blend shirt, and you can't really see it unless I get up close, but the buttons start up here and they go down the side here, and it's so beautiful. And I mentioned in my last video that these shirts were made really popular by Audrey Hepburn. She wore them on the set of one of her movies, and she loved them so much that she decided to buy some for herself, and she started wearing them on a regular basis, and the sales of this style shirt, or this brand shirt, went through the roof. So I think that's a pretty fun story. So this has already gotten a little bit of attention. I love it very much. I think I have this priced at $65 because some of the comps were really good on this brand. My goodness, I feel like I've just gotten home. I feel so much better behind my desk here. So I have two more pieces to share with you, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Give this video a thumbs up if you're having a good time. Okay, this is just a bonus piece. This gave me such Jackie O vibes. I thought it was so beautiful. But I didn't see a lot of like pink for fall. So this kind of was more like a spring jacket. I love that all of her stuff fits me. I'll show you some of the detail on there. I think I paid $10 for this jacket and $10 for the black one with all the faux fur. And then I gave you the pricing. So I would say this is a good size 14, 16. I also couldn't leave without this vintage mirror. How much fun is that? If I turn it around, I'll blind you and you'll see the camera. This was so cool. And I don't know what is wrong with me lately, but I keep picking up these little animal tchotchkes. If they're made in Japan, how cute is this pup? And then this little one with the fur. I don't know that I'm ever gonna list these. And then these little guys, these were like 25 cents and 50 cents. I don't know. They're probably, I looked up some of them, they're worth like $5 or $6. But when I bought that vintage kitty, who's still right here, this one that was signed by an artist, this one is worth about like between $30 and $40. So I was like, oh, well, why don't I take a chance on these because they're cute too. Okay, this is the piece that I've been so excited to share with you, and I hope you're not disappointed. I just thought this was so beautiful. So the woman whose estate sale this was, the woman who I said lived to be 106, she was one of 13 children. And this dress, so the woman I was speaking to said, oh, this was my aunt, and she wore this dress in my mom's wedding. So this is a bridesmaid's dress. And it came in the box. So Richard Healy, Company of Worcester. So I mentioned Davies earlier. For any of my local folks, none of these stores mean anything to me. So I'd like to think that's because I am just a youngin' at age 47. But anyways, this wedding was from 1954. So I paid $20 for this dress. And there was no way I was leaving without this. So I'm gonna stand up to show you. So everything is in the paper. Whoops, it's sliding off. Everything's in the paper. This was the bridesmaid dress. So this is a piece that goes in the hair. So I believe she said they wore it to the side, so they probably wore their hair back some way, and then something like that. Or they could have worn it like a headband. So this is really cool. It's got all this like netting on the inside. I thought it was incredible. I don't know that I would have bought this if it wasn't in the box or if it didn't have all the fun accessories to go with it, but it did. Look at these little hand pieces. Okay, so these are tiny little gloves. I'm gonna show you up close like this. Her wrists were very small, I decided, because I put this on, but I have to show it to you on because it's so cool. So look at that. So this little detail comes up here, and then it has that on the wrist. And then this must have been some sort of a shawl. So this is just like an extra piece of tulle, which I thought was really cool. And I love this like deep salmon color. I think it's so pretty. Okay, I take this dress out of the package, and I just need you to know that I discovered these stains under the arms, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to get them out, and I am so very sad. So I was just seeing these up close and personal for the first time when I opened this, because the room I purchased them in was kind of dark. This is how it's packaged, like this. Again, this like beautiful color, and it's tulle and lace. I'm just going to show you here. I mean, look at this dress. And this piece comes up and goes like over the neck. So this is like a halter made out of tulle. And then look at this lace detail. It's just so beautiful. And it's just like layers of tulle. This reminds me of like Back to the Future when Marty McFly's mom is all dressed up. Look at the layers here. I don't expect to sell it very fast, but I just thought it was a piece of history that I wanted to take home with me. And I thought it was so neat. I feel like I see wedding gowns out and about, but I don't really see like cocktail dresses and bridesmaid dresses that have all these little accessories that go with. So I thought that was really special, and I wanted to share it with you. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Give me a thumbs up on your way out if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Let me know how you like these vintage hauls if you want me to keep searching for vintage. I love learning about vintage brands. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about fall trends for 2020 and the ones that have inspired me this year. I forgot to mention, if there's anything from this video that you are interested in purchasing, please email me at lorisbostonfound@gmail.com or check out my Poshmark closet at lorisbostonfound. Sometimes it's really hard if you message me here on YouTube for me to like find you and message you. And also, if you leave me a message about an item on Poshmark, I can't correspond with you off of Poshmark per their policy. So sometimes people will message me on Poshmark and say, hey, I saw this great shirt in your haul, I'm interested in buying. I can't say, oh, email me, because Poshmark does not condone doing purchases off of the site. So if you are interested in something and I haven't listed it yet, just feel free to shoot me an email. That's the best way to reach me, and we can work something out. I can invoice you through PayPal. So just wanted to say that. Thanks again. I really enjoyed planning for this video and hand selecting pieces that were inspiring me from these fall 2020 fashions and trends. So let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you guys are having the best day ever. I love you guys, and I'll be back really soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.